Hello, Pokemon trainers! Welcome back to another daily Pokemon Sun and Moon video here on iStarly TV. We are doing a video every day leading up to the release of Pokemon Sun and Moon on November 18th in the United States. We're very excited, so we've done a couple other videos. If you want to check those out, I'll post some links in the description and also at the end of this video if you want to check some of that out. Please leave a like if you enjoy, and also feel free to subscribe for more Sun and Moon content. We are definitely going to be playing a lot of these games when they come out. So today we're talking about the full list of Pokemon in Sun and Moon, all the new Pokemon, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to go through them as briefly as possible and just talk about their evolutionary lines, and I'm going to be showing pictures of all of them. And so of course there are going to be spoilers here. If you do not know the entire list of new Pokemon in Sun and Moon, I do advise you to watch this video at a later date because we will be looking at every single new Pokemon in the game, and there will be a lot of spoilers because there are some Pokemon that have not been officially announced that are in the game. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start. So really my criteria for judging these Pokemon, I'm just going to be talking about them. Maybe I'll talk about anything that's unique about them or that sets them apart, anything that's cool, or maybe anything I like or don't like about them, whether it's by their looks or their type or whatever. So let's start with, of course, the Rowlett evolutionary line, Rowlett, Dartrix, and Decidueye. This is the grass type starter line, and of course they begin as grass and flying types and they evolve into Decidueye, who is a ghost and grass type. And as far as that's concerned, I mean, I know grass and ghost is not completely new because we had Trevenant and Gourgeist in 6th Gen in Pokemon X, so those were the first grass and ghost types ever, and it was cool that when we had them, they were new, they were refreshing. So this is not a new typing, however, I like the design of it. You know, it's a little owl and it shoots arrows, you know, it's kind of sneaky and stuff like that. So all of that really points to an awesome Pokemon, and this is going to be my starter. I'm going to be choosing Rowlett as my starter because I do think Decidueye is really cool, and in my opinion it's the best of the three. So I would say that this is a pretty successful grass type starter. It's very different than what we've ever seen in grass type starters in the past, and so I think that that's very commendable. Next, let's take a look at the fire type evolutionary line for the starters, and that is Litten, Torracat, and Incineroar. So the cool thing here is that Incineroar is a fire and dark type. I know a lot of people were afraid at first when they saw that Incineroar is bipedal, it stands on two legs, because they were afraid that it was going to be a fighting type. And it does look like it could be a fighting type again, but in fact it is a fire and dark type, and I think that that's pretty neat as well. Again, fire and dark is not anything new. We've had Houndoom in the past, but this adds something different to, you know, starters, and it's like a tiger, I guess. It looks like Tony the Tiger, so I think there will be a lot of fun kind of puns that'll come out of this one, and it's a cool starter. I don't dislike it. It's not going to be my first choice when I start over on Sun and Moon on Friday, but it's something that people can get behind and possibly enjoy using. The shiny also looks awesome. It's like white and orange, and that's awesome as well. But we'll look at the shinies at another time. Let's move on to the water type starters. Now, this is the starter line that I'm kind of the most confused about, the most on the fence about, because to be honest, I ultimately am fine with Primarina. Brionne is kind of a stupid name. I don't know what the heck it means and why it's named that. Popplio is cute, and as a water starter, it's cool. I think it reminds me a lot of like Samurott. You know, these are Pokemon that look like a seal or a sea lion or some kind of like creature like that, and Primarina looks like a more feminine version of that. There's nothing wrong with it though. I do like Primarina ultimately. The fact that it's a water and fairy type is something we've never seen before, and it's actually pretty powerful. You know, water and fairy is a really good type combination, so I think Primarina will actually be pretty good. So if you want to choose Popplio and Primarina as your starter, that's great because water types are notoriously good. And the design here is unique as well. Like I said, it's similar to me. Like, we've already seen some like sea lion Pokemon or seal Pokemon, so this isn't super different. It looks a little reminiscent of things like Milotic and like I said, Samurott, but you know, it's still something that's, I guess, refreshing enough because it's a fairy. So I would say the starters overall this generation, not stellar, but at the same time they are fine. They are not terrible. Alright, next we have the birds of this generation. Every generation you have a little bird that you can catch in the early stages of the game. Usually it's not super strong. Well, 4th gen had Staraptor. Of course, I'm a big fan of Staraptor. And actually, this generation we have Pikipek, Trumbeak, and Toucanon, who, boringly enough, are just normal and flying types. However, Toucanon, if you look at its stats, and maybe I'll do some video talking about its stats and whatnot, its stats are actually pretty decent. Toucanon has decent HP, and it actually has a pretty high attack stat, and it has Skill Link as an ability in addition to Bullet Seed, Fury Attack, and Rock Blast. So I'm actually going to be using Toucanon on my team. I'll talk about my team in the next video. Probably tomorrow I'll show you what Pokemon I'm picking for my Sun and Moon team. But for right now, just know that Toucanon's awesome. I think it's a good Pokemon. And we've never seen a Toucan Pokemon before, and that's something that I've been wanting forever, so I'm happy to get it. My one kind of complaint is that despite the fact that I like toucans, and I like the fact that we're getting a toucan Pokemon, it looks just like a regular toucan. Like, it just looks like a 3D rendering of a toucan in a video game form. It doesn't look really Pokemon. I know that's kind of a weird criticism, but, you know, Pikipek looks like a Pokemon. Even Trumbeak looks like it can be a Pokemon. Toucanon just looks like a toucan. It doesn't look exactly like a Pokemon. That's my biggest complaint here, but I do like it a lot, and I'll be using it on my team. Next we have Goose. Goose is cute. It's kind of like the Zigzagoon, the Rattata, you know, the Bidoof of this generation. So don't expect much out of it. Goose, of course, evolves into Gumshoes. Really weird name, and honestly pretty ugly design, but nothing really to expect here. You know, Watchog, Linoon, those are Pokemon that are normal types that you catch early in the game that don't really have an impact on anything. And Gumshoes is going to be, in my opinion, I feel like it's one of the most forgettable Pokemon that I've ever seen. I already forgot it existed. So I'm not a huge fan of it, and I don't feel like it's unique enough, but we'll see. We'll see. Next we have Grubbin, Charjabug, and Vikavolt. Grubbin evolves into Charjabug, who then evolves into Vikavolt. Cool thing here is that we have 2 bug and electric types. That's not anything new as well. We did have Galvantula in the past, but Vikavolt looks really awesome, and Dieter and I did a video like in the very early stages of the Sun and Moon cycle talking about Vikavolt and how we really liked it, and I still like it a lot. I'll probably be using it on my team as well, and it's a really powerful special attacker, and the fact that it's an electric type means that it can use powerful moves like Thunderbolt, Thunder, Volt Switch, and other bug type moves. So I think this is a great Pokemon. It just looks cool. You know, we've seen Beetle Pokemon in the past, but this offers something unique, and you could kind of tell that it's an electric type in addition to being a bug type. Charjabug is kind of weird because it's just like a box. I know people made fun of Charjabug a lot when it was spoiled, and it's still worth making fun of, I would say. It's such a weird Pokemon, but Vikavolt is what you're getting at when you pick up Grubbin or Charjabug in the early game, and Vikavolt is definitely worth it. Alright, next we have these 2 Pokemon that are very unique, Crabrawler and Crabominable. Now, we've seen plenty of crustacean or crab-like Pokemon in the past. We've seen Corphish, we've seen Krabby, etc. And I was a little hesitant when I saw Crabrawler because it's just another crab. Now, the unique gimmick with Crabrawler is that it's actually a fighting type. It's not a water type like you would expect. And you could see that its claws kind of look like boxing gloves. That's kind of cool. However, the coolest part about Crabrawler is that it actually evolves into this Pokemon Crabominable. And Crabominable, I mean, of course, it's a play on words of abominable, like the abominable snowman, like a Yeti. Now, I'm a little upset because we've never had a Yeti Pokemon. I guess Abomasnow is the closest we've got to that. But Crabominable is cool. It's, to me, I don't know the lore behind it or like the scientific reasoning behind it, like why they chose a Pokemon that's a crab, but also like an abominable snowman kind of thing. Maybe there's probably a good reason for it, but to me that's kind of strange and it's kind of fun, and I like strange, I like unique, and so this is a Pokemon that I think is very cool. It's also a fighting and ice type, so that's a type that we've never seen before as well. So I think that this Pokemon, it's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely something that I'm going to remember and that I'm going to want to look into using at some point because it's just so refreshing. It's so cool, get it? Because it's an ice type. Next we have Ori Koryo, who is a cute little bird Pokemon. I think this Pokemon's very cute, and it has 4 different kind of forms. They're not really forms though, they're different like versions of itself. I guess that you can find these in different areas of the game, and so I guess the thing here, the gimmick here is that Ori Koryo's, you know, body and appearance and even typing will change depending on where it's located. So we have the Baile form, the Pom-Pom form, the Pau form, and the Sensu form. Each of these are different typings: fire and flying, electric flying, psychic flying, and ghost and flying. I like that a lot because it makes it unique. It makes each of these unique. We've seen, you know, Pikachu in different forms in the past. We've seen Furfrou in the past, where you could get haircuts and you change its appearance, but it doesn't change anything about the Pokemon. And we also saw Gourgeist in in X and Y, where there were different variants of Gourgeist. There was a small one, a medium one, a large one, and an extra large one, and the stats vary depending on the type. And I like that here. I like that we have the Pokemon that this is the same Pokemon, but it has different kind of forms. It reminds me of Rotom as well. And they do have a signature move. I don't remember the name of it, but the signature move changes type depending on which form of Ori Koryo you have. So of course the fire and flying Ori Koryo, that move would be a fire type move, etc. So I like this Pokemon. It's not one of my favorites, but again, I do like it. I do not dislike it at all. I think it's worth looking at. I like the Baile form because it reminds me of like Latin American kind of dancing. That's really cute. The Pom-Pom one is funny as well. But I don't know, this Pokemon's cool. I do enjoy seeing this and seeing the kind of different forms we have. So let me know what you think of Ori Koryo, and let me know what you think of any of the Pokemon I've mentioned so far. Moving forward. Now, okay, we have a couple nice ones coming up. We're going to get to Rockruff, one of my faves. But let's get to Cutie Fly right now. Cutie Fly is, as the name implies, a cute little fly. My favorite thing about this Pokemon is that it is a bug and fairy type. Cutie Fly evolves into Ribombee, which I find to be a really fun name to say. I like saying it. It's kind of cool. But Ribombee is a little cute bee. Look how cute that thing is. And you're forgetting that it's a disgusting insect. Ribombee is actually really powerful. It's really, really fast, and it has a powerful special attack stat, in addition to being bug and fairy type, which is a really powerful type combination. But I like Ribombee because it's powerful and it's cute. I really want to use it. I probably won't have any space for it on my team. I think Dieter might use it on his team, but we'll see. But regardless, I do like this Pokemon. It's great. Probably one of my top 15 I know of the new Pokemon, I would say. I mean, I know that's kind of, there's not that many Pokemon to choose from, but I like it. Let's move on then to Rockruff. Rockruff is so cute. Probably, in my opinion, the cutest Pokemon from Sun and Moon. It's a rock type and it's a little wolf puppy. Gotta love it. We don't have that many wolf Pokemon, and wolves are so cool that I don't think we are in a shortage of wolves. Like, we could have a lot of different wolf Pokemon and it would still be cool. And if you see the evolutions of Rockruff, you'll know that there really is no shortage of cool, awesome wolf Pokemon. So we have Lycanroc. We have 2 forms of Lycanroc, the midday form and the midnight form. And of course, playing off the themes of Sun and Moon in this generation, you will get the midday form in Sun version and the midnight form in Moon version. So that's really cool to me because it means that there's different gameplay elements, you know, version exclusives, and it means that, you know, whichever one you get is going to depend on which game you have and whether it's day or night. And it means it's really cool because we're playing off of the whole like regular wolf and werewolf here. A werewolf Pokemon, that is neat. That is super, super cool. I'm really excited to see that. I'll be getting Sun version, so I'll be having this one, but I like this one a lot as well, so I'm not complaining. Next we have Wishy-Washy. So Wishy-Washy is interesting. It starts out in this ugly form, and it's a school form. It's pretty neat because if you look at it, it's like a bunch of different fish combined together into one, like a school of fish creating this giant shape. and that's the school form. And in this form, Wishy-Washy has insanely powerful stats. It's really, really powerful in this form. However, when its HP gets below, I believe, half, then it transforms into just this really small fish. Wishy-Washy, just the regular form. And in this form, in the small form, it is extremely weak. It's like weaker than Sunkern. It's weaker than like Feebas and Magikarp, if you could believe that. And so that's the huge gimmick here, is that you have this insanely powerful water Pokemon, but if it gets really weak, the whole school of fish is going to dissipate, and you're just going to have one little tiny fish that can't really fend for itself at all. That's really as good as dead in a battle. So interesting to see where this gimmick goes. I do like this Pokemon, just that whole notion of like, here's this really big thing, and if you kind of work at weakening it, then it'll render into this really tiny, really funny looking, like sad, pathetic little fish. So let me know what you think of that type of gimmick as well. I like that there's so many different gimmicks in this game. Next, let's talk about Mareanie and Toxapex evolutionary lines. And these look like little fungus kind of plants. I don't know if they're plants. They kind of look like mushroom shaped, but they're not really mushrooms. They look like maybe urchins as well. Something to do with like urchins. Of course, they are water and poison. Water and poison is not a unique typing. We've seen plenty of those in the past. I do think this evolutionary line is unique. It looks cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say. I feel like these two Pokemon are fairly forgettable, if I'm being honest, but I do think that they have enough kind of power and things going for them that they might be interesting. They might be worth considering, but we'll have to see. Let me know what you think of these two. These two, I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like these two would be anyone's favorites, but that's just my senseless opinion. Next, let's look at Mudbray and Mudsdale. Mudbray is really cool because it's kind of like a little donkey or a little mule, and we've never seen that before in Pokemon. And I've been waiting for a donkey Pokemon. I don't know about you. It's a pure ground type. It evolves into Mudsdale. So Mudbray I like because it's a donkey, and I've been wanting a donkey. Mudsdale to me is pretty ugly, but it's a horse. You know, we don't have too many horses in Pokemon, and it's a ground type horse. You know, the other horses we've seen have been like Rapidash, who's a fire type horse, so it's cool to have some different variation there. I do think Mudsdale, being a ground type horse, is very cool, although Mudsdale itself isn't the cutest Pokemon in existence. In fact, it's one of the least cutest. But so I'm going more thumbs up with this one, but I do have my reservations. I think I like Mudsdale a lot more than I like Toxapex. Alright, next we have, this is just, right here, this is just the whole line of like forgettable Pokemon in Sun and Moon. We have a water spider, Dewpider, which I think is such a stupid name, Dewpider, and Araquanid. Araquanid is awesome, that's great. And the design is awesome, the name is awesome. Dewpider, the design is fine, the name is kind of stupid, but Araquanid is cool. It's like a water spider. It has a unique ability called Water Bubble, and I don't know, I like where this is going. Thumbs up for me. I probably would not add it onto my team, but it's fine. It's a fine Pokemon. Next we have Mantis and Laurentiis. And the design of these two is great. I really like the design here. Laurentiis looks really unique. It's really pink. It's really kind of, I don't know, colorful and bright. But it's just a pure grass type. I just don't like that it's a pure grass type. I feel like it could have been something else, and the fact that it's grass type just makes it a little less forgettable, or a little more forgettable for me, because grass types are, by themselves, not very strong. The best grass types have a secondary typing, other than maybe Superior, but I don't know. Design is great, typing is not, for what it's worth. Next we have Morlul, another mushroom Pokemon. We've had plenty of mushroom Pokemon at this point, and Morlul doesn't change that. The interesting thing with Morlul is that it is a grass and fairy type, which is very unique to these games. So we have a grass and fairy type mushroom. That is cool. It evolves into Shinotic, I think that's how you say it. Shinotic is cool as a mushroom Pokemon. It looks cute, it looks great. I like the look of it. But the fact that we've already seen so many mushroom Pokemon, we've seen Paris, we've seen Amoonguss, we've seen Breloom, you know, Shroomish, etc. And there are probably plenty more that I'm forgetting about. But So this pales because we've had something like Amoonguss in the past, but I still think the design is really neat. Okay, next we have, so after that long string of lame Pokemon, we have 2 evolutionary lines that I think are fantastic. We have Salandit and Salazzle, and then we have Stuffle and Beware. Salandit is very cool. Being a poison and fire type is something that we've never seen before, and that adds a lot. I think it adds great coverage, and the design of this Pokemon is really cool. It's like a kind of, I don't know, ominous looking lizard in a way. It looks kind of devious, and that's pretty neat. I do like this Pokemon a lot. It's worth noting though that Salazzle is female only, so the only way to evolve Salandit into Salazzle is by having a female Salandit, female only. That's really interesting. Can be kind of annoying if you're trying to find a specific type of Salandit to evolve it, and if you only have a male Salandit, it won't evolve. That can be kind of annoying, but I guess it's cool that they're trying something like this. Next we have Stuffle and Beware. Beware, I think, is a great Pokemon. It's really kind of cute, but it's also kind of scary, right? It's like this really, really strong powerhouse teddy bear, and you don't want to hug. You want to hug it, but you don't want to hug it because it can kill you. So is it worth it to hug this cute little gummy bear? I do like Beware a lot. Stuffle's very cute as well. And it's a normal fighting type, which is also very unique, so something cool that we're just now seeing. And I don't know if I'll add Beware on my team. Probably not. I don't think I have space for it, but it's still worth looking at. It's still really, really neat and cute. Next, we have another grass line, Bounsweet, Steenie, and Syrena. Syrena Williams. So, Bounsweet is cute. And I like that these are fruit Pokemon. I feel like we don't have enough fruit Pokemon. I know that's like a really random thing to want, but I think it's cool to have, you know, Pokemon that are actual fruit, because it seems really obvious, but we don't have enough of them. Syrena, I like the designs. I like how the little kind of things sprouting out of their heads look like bananas, or they look like some kind of fruit. I do like that a lot. Syrena is cool looking, but at the same time I feel like it's like Laurentiis. It and Laurentiis are just kind of forgettable together because neither of them really stand out to me. And when you have other unique things going on like Beware and Salazzle, you know, these Pokemon just don't feel particularly noteworthy, but we'll see. I don't know what its stats are like. I want to like it, but it's just another grass type to me. Despite being a fruit, it's just another grass type. Alright, next let's talk about these three. These three are single stage Pokemon. We have Comfey, Oranguru, and Passimian. Comfey is a fairy type, and it's a little like lei necklace, like a flower necklace that you see in Hawaiian regions, I guess. People wear that when they go to Hawaii, I guess. And this is cool. I like it. It speaks to the region, like the cultural aspects of the region, I guess. And it's also a fairy type, and it's cute. It floats. I don't know, I do like this Pokemon a lot. I think it has a lot going for it, so I like this one better than the other grass types I've talked about, even though this isn't even a grass type. And then we have the two monkeys here. Now, Pokemon's thing where we don't have enough monkeys yet. I feel like that's another thing we need more of, is monkeys. And so now we have a little, I guess this is kind of a, I don't know what kind of monkey this is. I know, if I can visualize it, I can see, I can see it in my head. I just don't know what the type of monkey is called. But anyways, Oranguru is exclusive to Moon version, while Passimian is exclusive to Sun. And I like how they have the play on the different types. Passimian is more agile, it's more deft, it's a fighting type, whereas Oranguru looks a lot more poised and slow and meditative, and it's a psychic type. So that's really cool, a cool play there. These are two other Pokemon that I don't particularly love, but I do like them because they are unique. I think it looks like Passimian has like a melon on its head. I think that's kind of cool, and it's holding a melon. Really cool to speak to kind of like the ecosystem of, I guess, more tropical regions, and yeah, these Pokemon are cool. Very, very cool. They're not at the top of my list, but they are definitely something that I embrace, and I'm going to embrace these two monkeys. Alright, what are we looking at now? We have Wimpod and Golisopod. Wimpod is a bug and water type. It's a wimp. As you can tell, it looks really scared. And then Golisopod is just this monster, like this absolute monster. And I've read about Golisopod, and it does seem to be really, really powerful. So that's going to be kind of cool. You know, it looks really scary, like terrifying. It's this giant bug arthropod. I don't know. It's got so many different arms, 2 huge arms with claws, and then 4 tinier arms, and then it's got like feet. I don't know. This Pokemon's very cool, and I think it's going to be powerful. I do like it. This is definitely a thumbs up. Compared to Passimian and Oranguru, I think I like this one a little bit more, but I still like these two. So just to put that into perspective. Next, we have our Sandcastle Pokemon, Sandygast. I know, some of these names sound like 5-year-olds came up with them. And Palosand. Now, this is continuing the kind of ghost-type tradition of having Pokemon that are inanimate objects or inanimate kind of things that are ghost types. And I like that a lot. We've had like Drifblim, who's a balloon, Aegislash, who's a sword, and now a Sandcastle, which is interesting, very interesting. So the fact that this is something very cool, very unique, and again, it speaks to the kind of beachy region of Alola. I think that this is awesome, very awesome. Next we have Pyukumuku, I guess that's how you say it. And this Pokemon, sure, I mean, it's just like a little ball. It's like an urchin or some kind of whatever. And to me, it reminds me of like a Digimon, you know, the in-training stages of the Digimon where there's just like little bouncing heads. That's what this reminds me of. I don't like it. I mean, it reminds me of something like Corsola or, you know, one of the super forgettable water types. There are so many water types, and there are so many of which are very forgettable, but I guess because we're in a water region, you know, we're in an island region in the Pokemon games, there are going to be a lot of water types. So we'll have to accept it. I'm not going to hate it. I'm not going to kick it because it might hurt me, but sure, we'll go. We'll accept you, Pyukumuku. Next we have Type Null and Silvally. Very, very interesting, very unique. These Pokemon remind me of like chimeras, which are the mythical beasts that have different parts of different animals. That's what these look like. I think it was only a matter of time before we had a Pokemon that's made up of parts of other Pokemon. Now, if you look at it, I mean, you can't really tell. I think this is supposedly, it's an artificial made Pokemon, kind of like Porygon or Genesect, where people created this Pokemon. It did not exist in the wild. And even though the parts of it don't look like specific Pokemon that we know of, they still look like you can tell it's made up of different parts of something. And so, yeah, this Pokemon's very, very cool. I really commend this Pokemon. I'm probably not going to add it onto my team, but I commend it. I think it's a great Pokemon. If I ever use it, I will enjoy doing so, and because it's just so cool. Kind of weird. I don't like the name. That's the one thing about this Pokemon I do not like. It's called Type Null. What the heck? Who thought of that? And why? How is that okay? That's not a very Pokemon-y name. I know that's something that's really nitpicky to criticize, but come on, like Type Null and Silvally. What does that mean? That's what I'm gonna leave those at. Alright, now we have another wave of single stage Pokemon. I'll try to fire through those. Meteor is a rock and flying type. Excellent typing. It's a little meteor thing, and it changes colors, and it has a unique ability that it breaks open its shell to become more aggressive. Very cool. I like. Komala, excellent. Been waiting for a Koala Bear Pokemon. Unfortunately, it doesn't evolve. I'm a little bummed about that because I think there's a lot of potential to keep having more Koala Pokemon, and one way to do that is by having it evolve, but it's cute, and apparently it's fairly strong, so I think this Pokemon's very cool, and yeah, I'm happy with it. Torche Inator, I really like it because of its typing, but it's just so ugly. Maybe this is the ugliest Pokemon in 7th gen. I know that's a bold statement, but look at it. That's its eye. That's like its snout or its mouth or something. It's a really, really ugly Pokemon. One of the ugliest Pokemon I have ever seen. But again, its typing is awesome, so I can't ignore that. Alright, we have 4 more here. Actually 5, wow, okay. Tokido Maru, really cute. This is the Pachirisu, the Emolga, the Dedenne of this generation, the little electric rodent that looks really cute. It's got the circular colored cheeks, and that's all it's there for, is to look cute. This thing is terrible. I'm sure it's terrible, just like Pachirisu, just like Emolga. I'm sorry, Tokido Maru. You know, you're just going to be used as like a rugby ball or something. Mimikyu, on the other hand, is awesome. I know this is one of Dieter's favorite Pokemon. It's a ghost and fairy type, which is great. And it's kind of mimicking or imitating Pikachu. It's trying to look like a Pikachu. It's a ghost type that's trying to wear a disguise. And that's awesome. I think that's really kind of sinister, but also... It's sinister, but it's also kind of cartoony and whimsical like Pokemon is. So I think it's the epitome of a cool and uniquely designed and still kind of creepy ghost Pokemon. Oops. Next we have Bruxish, if I can find it. Next we have Bruxish, who is another Pokemon that I just find extremely ugly. Water and Psychic is a cool type, but this Pokemon just, it's so forgettable to me. I really don't like Bruxish. It's just another fish. We've seen fish with sharp teeth in the past. We've seen fish Pokemon in general. We've seen plenty of fish Pokemon in the past. I don't care for Bruxish at all. If Torche Inator is the ugliest Pokemon in Alola, Bruxish is the second ugliest, and Bruxish is the Pokemon I care about the least. Next we have Drampa, who is a normal and dragon type, and I think it's great. I think Drampa is awesome. Also very cool, kind of creepy looking, but unique, just super, super unique, and that's what we're looking for here. So I like Drampa. Then we have Dhelmise. I think that's how you're saying Dhelmise. It's an anchor. The weird thing is this is also a ghost and grass type like Trevenant and Decidueye and Gourgeist, and people are really kind of baffled why it's a grass type. I mean, it looks like a ghost type. It looks all sinister and creepy, but why a grass type? And I guess people are saying like the algae on the steering wheel or something like that. Who knows? This is a very interesting Pokemon, and again, it's a ghost type that's like an inanimate object that is possessed by a ghost type. So in that vein, it's cool. Not sure how good it's going to be or how popular it's going to be, but for me, it's just like in the middle. Leaning more towards not really interested. Alright, we have our last row, and then that's going to be it. So these are the pseudo-legendaries of the generation, Jangmo, Hakamo, and Komo. I think I'm saying it that way. I think I'm saying it correctly. One of my favorite Pokemon, I think. Just the fact, I mean, Jangmo is cute. Komo isn't really that awesome looking, but it kind of is. I mean, it's a dragon and fighting type. That's my biggest selling point for this Pokemon. It is a dragon and fighting type. We've never seen that before, and that's actually an insanely powerful type combination. This thing is going to wreak havoc. It's going to destroy, and I really like it a lot. I think this is going to be a powerful Pokemon, and it's a threatening Pokemon. It's kind of like Garchomp or Dragonite, where it's just this really fierce dragon, and you're going to be scared to fight it. And if you see it in the anime, it's going to be like really, really powerful. It's probably going to destroy Ash, unless Ash has one on his team. But yeah, great Pokemon, great. 2 thumbs up here. Now, I think these are like the legendaries of this generation, the Tapus. Taboo Koko, sorry, I lost him there for a sec. We have Taboo Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Fini. Very cool Pokemon. They're like the guardians of the islands in Alola, which I think is beautiful. And they are each fairy types, which is very cool. And then each of them has an additional typing that is unique. Electric Fairy, Psychic Fairy, Grass Fairy, Water Fairy. I don't know how good these are going to be, but I really, really like them a lot. I like that idea of like these island guardians. They all have similar types of like patterns on their bodies, and then their body shape is similar. Like they have like a black head and like a small black body, black arms. I like these a lot. These are very, very cool, and the fact that they're kind of uniform but they're also unique is what really, you know, sets them apart. We've had Pokemon in the past like Landorus, Thundurus, and Tornadus who look exactly the same, but they're just different colors. And so this is really refreshing to see Pokemon that look very similar, but so different that you can tell them apart, and they each have their own distinct purpose. So all of the Tapus, 4 thumbs up, and my toe thumbs are also up. And I'm gonna be looking at Tapu Koko and Tapu Fini. Those are my 2 favorites right now, but all of them are great. Alright, next we're talking about these 4 Pokemon. Now, spoiler alert, I know I already said spoiler alert, but apparently Cosmog evolves into Cosmome. correct me if I'm wrong, and then Cosmoem, I guess, can evolve into either Solgaleo or Lunala. If that's true, then these would be the first legendary Pokemon, box art legendaries, that evolve or evolve from something. If that's true, then that is actually very interesting. But beyond that, these things are cute and really cool. They're really cosmic. I really like that, but I don't know enough details about them to really judge. But Solgaleo is very cool. I'm happy to be choosing Sun version, although Lunala is also awesome. Now, Solgaleo's quadrupedal, Lunala's like this big bat thing that flies, and then in X and Y we had Xerneas, who's quadrupedal, and Yveltal, who flies. So, really interesting there. I don't know, like, exactly the reasoning for that, but these Pokemon are cool. I really hope they represent the games really well. They look like they're doing a good job of that already. And I don't know, yeah, these are awesome. I think that they're very cool. That's all I can say. Their typings aren't very unique. I wish that Solgaleo was something other than Psychic and Steel, but this is what we have to work with right now. And finally, 2 legendary Pokemon. Now, I did a video about Marshadow. You can click right here if you want to see that. Marshadow is extremely powerful because it's a fighting and a ghost type, and its stats are very good. Magiarna is something I haven't really seen too much of, but Steel and Fairy should be a fantastic typing. And not only that, but Magiarna is kind of cool. It looks like a Pokeball, I guess. I don't know if these 2 are going to be the event legendaries of the game, or if they're going to be actually in the game. We'll have to wait and see, but very cool Pokemon. I like these. I do like these a lot. So, yeah, let me know what you think about every Pokemon that I've named. Let me know your opinions on all of these Pokemon. Leave those in the comments below. I really want to see what you think, especially about the Pokemon that I had really strong opinions about. I want to see what you believe about them. Now, I'm not going to be covering Alola forms or Ultra Beasts in this video. I'll probably do separate videos for those, but for right now, these are my thoughts on all brand new Pokemon in Sun and Moon. I really can't wait to see what you think, and I can't wait to play these games, so stay tuned for more Pokemon Sun and Moon content, and we'll see you very soon.